Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Peter Jackson, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Babby.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think this is gonna be a shorter episode. Kind of balled out last week with the Game Awards and I forgot what else we talked about, but it was a long podcast, so there was a lot of things we talked about. But I don't think we're gonna have that much. I have a couple things to talk about. I don't know how much music stuff you have.
Not too much, but
Okay, enough
I
to
have things at least. So.
Yeah. Well, that's better than nothing. I have two news things and one discussion thing, kind of, because I can't really talk too much about Spider-Man, because I did go see the new Spider-Man film. I believe the spoiler embargo is not up yet. So
I haven't watched it, so it's not up yet.
yeah, I wouldn't spoil it for you anyways. But I will
If
be
the theater
giving.
could give me tickets, then I'd be good. But
Is it sold out?
yeah,
Yeah. That's I bought my tickets like as soon as they opened, because I was like, I know that this is gonna get sold out. So I will give a general vibe, my general take on it, and then we'll do a more in-depth conversation once you see it.
Yes.
So that will be fun. But let's talk about some other movie news before that. I believe I talked about this last year, but the National Film Registry, the 2021 list got announced this week. Last year was Shrek. Shrek got nominated.
let's go.
Yeah. Not nominated. It got admitted into the National Film Registry, which means somewhere in the Library of Congress there is a preserved reel of Shrek. That's
As there should.
it's being protected because it's been deemed as culturally relevant, and
Which is true.
It is true. So that's what happened last year. That was the funny one that happened last year. This year, not as much funny ones. More like just actual good movies to preserve. I mean, the majority, like the purpose of this is for like older movies to be preserved, because those actually have like are under threat of like being erased from history, because there's only a limited amount of physical copies, and studios that made movies in the early 1900s might not even be around anymore. So I think that's mainly the idea of just like taking these culturally relevant movies from like the 1920s or whatever, and like
Too bad they suck and Shrek's better. So
yeah, that is true. But most of these movies that they added are from, I would say, like before the 70s or after the 70s. Yeah, kind of weird. They did nominate one animated movie. It's not Shrek 2. I don't know exactly what the cutoff is, but the latest movie that was added was from 2008, and that's WALL-E. So WALL-E's in the National Film Registry, which I was kind of surprised that it wasn't, because that's a great movie. In terms of other ones that are recognizable, Fellowship of the Ring is in there. Nightmare on Elm Street, Star Wars 6, Return of the Jedi. I think that might be everything that is nominated. Or, I don't know why I keep saying nominated. They're selected and they're in the registry. there are some like I think they took a big step this year in like nominating specifically black filmmakers from like the 30s and 20s and stuff. I'm citing an NPR article here because I wouldn't know any of these movies, but
You don't know every 1930s movie ever made?
no, I don't know if I've ever. Well, I think I've seen Citizen Kane, but no, that was
40s.
40s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any movie before the 40s. But, well, Wizard of Oz, one.
Disney had some 40s bangers.
Yeah, like Snow White and
Yeah.
Cinderella and stuff. But, those are timeless, I think. Some of the older movies don't really age that well, but that's just because they're physical media and technology, yeah. But one film that they made a specific note on NPR was The Flying Ace from 1926. It was made by a black film studio in Florida. It was an aviation romance now thought to have helped inspire the Tuskegee Airmen and was a thriving African-American movie culture during the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. So that's cool. I like that they're not just nominating a bunch of old white dudes, because that seems to be the kind of the vibe from this, except for like, some of the newer stuff. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that they do this. I don't know what else they preserve in the Library of Congress. I hope they do some like music preservation and
They do.
yeah. I know I've heard some arguments for like preserving games, and I think that's probably a good idea too. Just because, not everyone has
Like
an Atari.
now, there's still access, but like in a couple decades,
Yeah.
a little bit hard to come by.
Yeah. And I'm talking even like old stuff like Atari stuff and like Magnavox Odyssey, your CDIs, like, 70s gaming before it was really cool to own an NES. I think that some of those games kind of get thrown to the wayside or are released on the Xbox Live Arcade or whatever. But, there's not a whole lot of demand. But there's still like pieces of history, I would think. So, I don't know. I think there's an argument to be made, but I don't know if they're ever going to do it until Neil Druckmann becomes the CEO of Library of Congress. Neil Cuckman, sorry. But that was the thing. I think most people were talking about Star Wars being in there and WALL-E. Oh, and Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I think Peter Jackson gave a statement, which is surprising that it's in our National Film Registry and not New Zealand's, but, I don't know how that works. But there's that. The only other bit of news I have is in the gaming sphere, and it is another batch of PS5 colors. Well, okay, so we got the other, like, I don't remember, a couple months ago, we got these controllers in addition to the white ones. You can now get a black one, or it was like kind of a magenta kind of thing. And then PlayStation did a blog where now they're going to be selling like you can replace the white parts of the PS5 console itself with those colors. So then you can have like a matching console controller kind of thing if you don't want it to be the white stock. In addition to some new colors. I didn't name these, so I know that they are cringy, but that's just what it is. You got Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and Galactic Purple. So, and apparently the colors that they released before were Cosmic Red and Midnight Black. So, there you go. I can't, drop
I
a
can't
photo.
wait to buy a multicolored PS5 to play 5 games on.
Yeah, I know.
They're doing great stuff over at Sony.
Yeah.
It's going to look great on my shelf and do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who this is for, especially since the colors aren't all that diverse. Like, if you look at the lineup, it's all, like, cool colors. Like, there's no... I mean, like, the red is, like, a purple-y red. It's not, like,
Yeah, that's warm,
red.
but, like, it's not, like... There's no, like, red,
No.
which is very typical.
I want, like, a crimson PS5. That'd be cool. Yeah, no greens, no yellows, no oranges. Just all purples,
Green would work
blues.
at all, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think purple and blue is PlayStation's thing.
Yeah. But frankly, if
About
you're
as adventurous as they get. Analogous only.
Yeah. But this does kind of open the way for like when a new game comes out, instead of doing like a special edition of a console, then you can just like, hey, here's a faceplate for your PS5.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
It's just there's no games out for it yet. So
No.
maybe in 20 years.
I mean, the PS4's launch was also really slow, but
You at least had bangers on it, though.
the PS4's launch was awful. I think it's notoriously one of the worst console releases, where it was
Yeah, I think it
Knack
was just
and
not as
Assassin's
bad.
Creed 4, which
Because
was already a
Xbox One was
PS3
awful.
game. I mean, yeah, it was better than the Xbox One, but like, no, that last generation also had a horrible launch. I'm not saying that this one also isn't bad, but there's stuff coming now. I don't remember how long it took for stuff to come out in the PS4, because I was late to the party. So by the time I had a PS4, like Last of Us was on there, which I think it was. That may have been a launch, but that was also, like, that was the kind of controversy, is that a lot of the launch titles were just ports of PS3 games. It's like you had that, then you had Assassin's Creed 4, which was like barely a remaster, and Knack. So that, honestly, that's probably a worse launch than the PS5, because on the PS5 you at least have Spider-Man and Demon Souls and Bugsnax, which are original games. Well, not Demon Souls, but
It's just so garbage compared to Xbox, because Xbox like killed it this time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure COVID had a role in this, because I'm sure Sony wanted
but your
to go
games
all
will still
out.
be in development beforehand.
Yeah, but I think like you're getting like stuff's coming out next year. Like you got the God of War stuff. There's other. Well, I mean, the Uncharted collection, that doesn't really count. I'm trying to think. There's too many PlayStation studios. It's hard to remember what they're all doing. But I mean, like even some of the big hitters like Insomniac, like we know that there's 2 projects coming up, but they're years down the line. So really, there's like no real reason to have a PS5 right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you releasing colors?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to test the market and see if this is a viable option.
Test the market.
I mean, like,
should have waited a little bit.
I don't know. This isn't like the worst thing they've done, but like, I don't know. I think the worst thing about this is the price, because just for 2 pieces of plastic that you put on the side of your console, it's $50.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough. So I will not be getting the midnight whatever crimson comatose pink or whatever it's called. I will be waiting for the Knack PlayStation 5 cover. Thank you very much. So that is a thing. But enough about sad corporate decisions. Let's talk about a decent corporate decision with Spider-Man No Way Home, the newest Marvel flick that everyone keeps talking about. I know what you're all going to ask. Is Tobey Maguire in it? I don't know.
You cannot disclose this information.
This is
'cause I have not
illegal
seen
for
the movie.
me to talk about it.
Yep.
What I will say is that I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I think that this is the best MCU Spider-Man movie. It beats Homecoming, which is surprising because I really like Homecoming. Because it kind of strips away all the dumb Avengers stuff where it's like, like
Besides the whole Iron Man thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like every Avengers movie, it's like this is the world-ending threat where everything is all up to Thor or Captain America. Everything's gonna die and Nazis are gonna take over. And like when the Spider-Man movie came out, it was just like this guy robs banks. I was like, okay, well, that's pretty chill. And it felt like a pretty good like balance of Peter Parker and the Spider-Man stuff. Like the other Spider-Man movies did, which was good. I really enjoy Homecoming a lot, and Michael Keaton is great as the Vulture, so also a big plus. I think Far From Home was fine, but I don't know. Mysterio doesn't really work as a twist villain because we all know that Mysterio's the bad guy, so like it I don't know, it doesn't really work. I don't know if Marvel twist villains ever really work, but that one especially didn't really, even though I love Jake Gyllenhaal. But this one, it's like it's kind of hard to talk about without going too heavily into spoilers, but watching the trailer, you know that like all of the old Spider-Man villains are back. Well, most of them. Not Venom as portrayed by Topher Grace. I think, yeah. I don't want to say all the villains that are in there, but don't expect Topher Grace going into this, unfortunately. But, Alfred Molina reprises his role as Doc Ock. You got Willem Dafoe playing the Green Goblin. Jamie Foxx as Electro. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, the guy. I don't know if it's the guy who played the Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know if he's back. Oh, and then Sandman is in it from Spider-Man 3, and that guy does come back. I don't know his name. So they got like all the original people, at least I think, to come back and reprise their role, and they all are very instrumental to the plot of the movie, and that's what I kind of like about it, is that a lot of the same story beats from the original movies kind of carry over. So that's maybe one thing that I would maybe take away from it, is that it doesn't really work as a standalone Spider-Man movie. It probably doesn't even make sense if you've just seen Homecoming and Far From Home. Like, you have to have watched Spider-Man 1 through 3 and then Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. There's a lot of Amazing Spider-Man 2 references, which is funny because that is the worst superhero movie ever. But it is treated like it is kind of like one of the best things. And there are a lot of like loose ends that are like fixed from that movie specifically. And it's like, there's a lot of stuff that I care about from the other movies that I would have liked to seen wrapped up in a nice little bow. I don't know why you care so much about Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that's just my pet peeve, I guess. But I think this is a pretty G-dang good Spider-Man movie. I've seen some people say it's the best Spider-Man movie. I think I would...
Those people are 12.
Yeah. I think that they haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse. But it probably is maybe as good as Spider-Man 2. I just think Spider-Verse is maybe unbeatable at this point. Just because there's a lot more that you can do in animation than in live action. And sometimes the CGI in this movie is straight up bad. So, but that's just because last movie I saw with a lot of CGI was Dune, and maybe I shouldn't be holding a MCU movie to those standards, but it was distracting how bad the CGI on Spider-Man was, where it didn't look like he was real. Like, I mean, he wasn't, but like, like sometimes, like Tom Holland would take his mask off to talk, and like you could tell that he was like actually in the Spider-Man suit, and then he'd put his mask on, and he'd just become like a CGI model, even if he's just like running around or like doing a pose, and it's like, why even do that? Why not just have him do the pose or have him run around? Like, I don't get, you're doing so much additional effort to make it look worse. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So it's not perfect, but is any Spider-Man movie perfect? I'll let you decide, audience. Even though I think one is, but that's neither here nor there. We'll have more conversations whenever Babby sees Spider-Man. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give away anything. And with that, that's actually all I have.
Wow.
I know. Very short list of stuff. But I'll throw it on over to Babby where you can talk about music.
Guys.
Yeah.
What do we have this week? We had Roddy Ricch, The Box. You know the guy.
I do know the guy.
He released his album this week.
Oh, it came out?
Felt very low key. Like, the year's over. Just like, nah, here's an album. Whatever.
I like Roddy Ricch.
I do like Roddy Ricch. This album's pretty decent.
Yeah?
Can't say it's great, but according to my Spotify likes, I liked about 3/4 of it, I would say.
Okay.
Not like a reinvention or anything. He's kind of just doing the same old thing. The intro seems like it wants to set up a lot, and then, like, one of these thematic experiences, and then it just kind of doesn't do that. It just is a compilation of songs again. But he can still hold his own as a rapper. He's getting to that J. Cole level where he can kind of have this very good presence on a track, carry it well. Features, for the most part, I enjoyed. I usually don't listen to music where like Gunna and Kodak Black and Takeoff and stuff are featured.
Yeah.
But they fit well with his style. I think Hibachi with Kodak and 21 Savage is a banger. This man got Jamie Foxx as a feature on a song, but all he does is have a voicemail part at the end, which is kind of disappointing. I want to hear Jamie Foxx sing again, but whatever. Murder One with 5 Foreign, and I think Kenny Beats produced that. That's great. But overall, still like Roddy Ricch. I don't think he's hit the level that he can yet. I think this is kind of like, I think I'd rank it the same as his debut.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he's evolved much, but at the same time, it's like that was released last year, so there hasn't been a lot of time for like a reinvention or anything.
Man, it's only been 1 year?
Yeah, actually, no. It came out in 2019, but it was the end of 2019.
Oh, okay.
Because then The Box got like really big at the early of 2020 and like stayed number one for like 8 weeks.
Well, that's because it's a good song.
Like a rapper that like just put out a debut with not a lot of marketing support.
Yeah.
But that song has 1.3 billion plays.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good song.
It's huge.
Everybody's sleeping on it.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
But pretty good effort still. I don't know how much I'll return to it just because this very kind of commercial auto-tune trap rap kind of stuff isn't something I go back to a lot. It is something that I need every once in a while. But, I mean, if I need something easy, then I'll go back to this. But
yeah,
pretty good effort. We also had a Voldy James and Alchemist project again. Their third one in 2 years. This is basically just a B-sides to Bo Jackson, except it's 9 tracks, so it's like another EP separate to it.
Wow.
instead of doing a deluxe record, which I actually like better. So instead of just throwing like 5 songs on there and then be like, here's a deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's Boldy James and Alchemist. It's going to be good. It's not as good as Bo Jackson, obviously, since it is. I don't want to say like outtakes, but I think these are just stuff that didn't make the final cut on that album, because a lot of these don't sound like they belong on that album.
Yeah.
Production does get. I feel like Alchemist could have gave these beats to Earl, and they would have gone over a little better on some of these. Some of these beats have like too much personality, because Boldy James is very monotone. Which is fine when you have a beat that has a personality, but when the beat has too much personality, then I'm only listening to the beat.
Yeah.
Because some of these are like really, really great. Alchemist does not miss usually. There's only one feature on it, but feature does really well. Beats are fantastic. Can't say much about Boldy James and Alchemist, because literally every project is so solid and like great that I'd just be repeating myself. So.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we literally just talked about it during our freaking list video. So.
Yeah.
Whatever. But those are the 2 big things this week. I think Black put out a little 2-piece EP, but I haven't listened to it. And then Twigs and The Weeknd have a song out. Haven't heard it, but I haven't heard good things. So.
Oh, was it another sleeper?
I think it is. Like, he keeps debating.
Why does he keep doing this?
Weeknd song, mid. Then he puts out an FKA Twigs and Weeknd song, and it's kind of mid.
But he just did the freaking Swedish House Mafia song. That one's pretty good.
That song's good.
Yeah.
But that also fits to what he's doing right now.
Yeah, true.
I just expect a lot when you have Twigs and The Weeknd in the same sense, because those two are like some of the best in R&B.
Yeah.
Right now. Although Twigs is kind of doing her art pop thing, but I don't know. I don't know if this is leading up to a new record, because if there is a new Twigs record coming, then I am very excited. Magdalene is fantastic. I think a lot of people were comparing this new song to like, I forgot what the song was on Magdalene with Future, but it was like the only song that people were like kind of about, because it didn't fit the rest of the record. But I don't know. The Weeknd's kind of doing some interesting feature work right now.
Yeah, he was on that Aliyah song too.
Yeah, he was on a song with Aaliyah, and like the vocals were like really mixed bad and not received well either.
Yeah.
So. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what's going on with The Weeknd.
Just release The Dawn so I could like get that back up there, please. Because the 2 songs he's released for it are great. Or technically one song and then the Swedish House Mafia song.
Yeah. So none of these songs are going to be on his thing.
No, these are all featuring The Weeknd.
Okay, but just the I don't even remember what the song.
I forgot the name of it.
There's too many singles. Take My Breath.
Let me look it up. Yes, Take My Breath.
Yeah.
I do really like that one. I like the extended version more, where he kind of does like a more dance tune to it, just extended a little bit.
Okay, I haven't heard the extended version.
Yeah. It's just more of you probably don't need to.
Okay.
Moth to a Flame is a Swedish House Mafia song, but The Weeknd is basically the whole song.
Yeah, because it's an electronic group.
Yeah. Quite a good one, too, if I remember from back when I was 13. I think they're going to release a record next year, because they reunited, so I might have to check that out. For the nostalgia.
Yeah.
If nothing else. But I don't know. I'm excited for The Weeknd's album. These weird feature runs are not turning out as well as I thought he thought they would, but.
Well, he just seems to be sleeping all the time on the mic.
Yeah. I mean, when you're The Weeknd and you have a voice that's so good without even trying, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the new album yet, though.
Don't know. I have a feeling, though, like the first quarter of 2022 is going to be banging, though.
Yeah, because
just from what we have confirmed already and what should be coming.
Right. And like After Hours, didn't that drop in like May or something?
Yes.
It's like a weird time.
It was a weird time. But I don't know. I would guess he would do it in the earlier months, especially since he's going to tour during the summer, I think. I think that's when he's rescheduling it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So it's probably going to be in that point. But we also have Kendrick that's supposed to come back very soon. He has a Super Bowl in February, so that should be close.
Yeah, you would think
We
that he
also
would
have-
drop before that.
Yeah, I would think so. We also have confirmed things like albums coming from Mitski, Black Country New Road, Earth Gang, Earl Sweatshirt, like all within January and February. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy couple
we're
of
eating
months.
good. I think Black Country is probably the one I'm most excited for, just because the 3 singles are so fantastic.
Even more than Kendrick.
Well, obviously that's gonna be the top one, but we
Yeah.
don't know when it's coming, so I can't like.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting so much.
yeah.
As soon as that comes out, it's over.
I know.
That'll be like the thing for
I'm
me
excited
for like
that.
probably half a year at least.
I just hope it's not
usually-
trash.
Ew.
We know that it's a potential.
That's probably impossible, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll do Black Country New Road reaction. I'm very excited for that. I think that'll be a good one.
Bab Jab wants to do that, I bet.
Yeah, for sure. We can have a 3-man. Mitski as well. I'm kind of interested to see what Mitski does. I haven't listened to her new singles or anything, but I'm interested
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out when we get to it.
when the time comes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all I got for now. I don't expect much to happen in the next 2 weeks, just because I don't think artists usually release albums like 2 weeks before the new year, just
Yeah.
from a marketing standpoint. But there are a lot of underground artists that have done that to me in the past, where they'll just release something like near Christmas,
Yeah.
and mess everybody up. So,
Well, didn't Bobby Shmurda drop?
Chief Keef dropped an album. I don't think Bobby Shmurda did.
Oh. I don't know if he dropped an album, but I thought he dropped a song.
Maybe he dropped a song. Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't hear much about it. But Chief Keef dropped an album, which was interesting. I don't think people were expecting that. So
Is he been sleeping?
I just don't know if people expected anything. Maybe it was announced. I don't know. I don't keep up with Chief Keef news, so
Oh.
it's not my avenue usually.
Yeah, Bobby Shmurda dropped a song, Shmoney, featuring Quavo and Rowdy Rebel. Or Quavo. I don't care.
Quavo.
He's the Migos guy.
Oh yeah, so Chief Keef did drop, and then the last album he dropped was 2015. So
Oh, okay. So it was kind of,
yeah,
yeah. Huh. Is anything as fire as Love Sosa?
don't know. I don't know
Oh.
if I listened to a full Chief Keef album in 2021.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't
kinda
listen
like
to
a-
a Chief Keef album in 2015.
It's got a couple bangers. I don't know if I can handle a whole album of it though.
No.
But that's what we got.
All right. Well, we don't have. That's it then.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just save news and stuff for 2 weeks from now. I think we're going to do our grand year-end review discussions. What we've been watching and playing and not listening to. That's a different video that's on the Boy Time channel.
Yes.
So if you want our music opinions, that will be coming out later this year. TBA on when that's coming out.
Before December 31st. So
Yes.
just keep an eye out.
Yeah. But
You
we're
can
going
also
to be.
follow our Twitter if you're interested.
We do have a
will
Twitter.
post
I was
when we
about
have
to plug
new
that.
videos.
Yeah.
Yes. At BoyTimeYT.
Yes. I think we have one tweet on there as of now that I've made.
I haven't done anything.
I just did a test tweet. So if you want to check that out, then we'll probably make posts whenever we release anything on YouTube, or if we post a new episode of the podcast, we'll link that too. So,
Or if you just want to hear our random thoughts, randomly put on with no context.
yeah, I kind of want to use it as like a shit posting Twitter also.
For sure. Yeah.
So as long as it isn't too spicy, because brands still have to be able to
Brands don't
look
care.
at it. Well, you never know. MeUndies
I don't
might
know,
be
some
really
of these channels that
angry.
get sponsored are way worse than us.
That's true. I think Big Nick got sponsors, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you like the podcast? Probably not. But if you did, then you should leave a review on the Apple Podcasts so that we can get promoted more. Frankly, I want to be promoted so that I can get more numbers, and that'll make me feel better about myself. So if you want to help me on my self-confidence, then leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts.
Maybe you shouldn't encourage him if he only gets self-confidence from reviews.
Well, maybe I should encourage them because, if they leave a bad review, then it's going to really make me feel bad, and then I'm never going to make an episode of the podcast again. And these people don't want that. Right?
Right?
Yeah, don't leave a negative review. That tells Tim Apple that we're bad podcast and that he shouldn't.
Which we're not. We've been doing this for 2.5 years.
Yeah, we got this on lock. Okay.
Yeah, we're so great at this.
Yeah. Actually, we're getting really close to our 3-year anniversary in February.
We are. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. Hard to believe that we've been doing this for almost 3 years and only about 4 months of it have been good.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
C'est la vie. Well, are you saying?
You got it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I didn't even open my mouth.
Oh,
frankly.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Bye.